Facebook is broken. They're just trying to take your money, and everything that used to work does not work anymore. That's complete bullshit. So here's the thing. You're going to find a whole lot of people that say a whole lot of things that sound like I'm not taking responsibility and I haven't been paying attention. So today, not only am I going to debunk all of that victim mentality that is a lack of leadership and understanding, but we're going to debunk all that nonsense and give you the confidence to know exactly what and why. And yes, the sun is setting in the world. These are actually live. Like time has gone by, and little Charley's on the inside right now, right? She is not with me for this session. She can't put in the hours. She already put in a lot of hours today. So it's gonna be us, fam. And let me hit this AC. Boom. Boom. Oh wait, there we go. Power button. Oops. Anyway. As always, please go ahead. If you want a $150 gift card to Disruptor School, go ahead and share this live feed anywhere on socials and send it to me. And I know there's some people that have done it already. And like, look, I'm in the zone. We're in the arena. As soon as I get out of the arena, I will hook you up. Don't worry. And like all other lives that we've done, we today are going to have another giveaway this session, another one. Yeah. So go ahead and drop Disruptor in the comments section to join the spin to win. So let's get down to it. Right now, I'm going to share something with you that nobody else will. And to be fair, they either aren't sharing it with you because they don't know, or it's because they don't give a damn about you. And to be fair, those are not mutually exclusive positions. They can both be way better at selling than actually driving results and not care about you. But those things we talked about earlier, Facebook is broken. Nothing works the way it used to. You don't ever have to feel like that. So I was talking with my man earlier today. I think he's over on the Instagram side. What up, buddy? Cherry Hill Shop. And I felt like, you know what? This type of information needs to be known by everyone. Everybody needs to know the digital marketing calendar by month. Why and when everything happens with your ads. And we're also going to dive into a whole bunch of YouTube questions and all of your questions live on the chat. I already see one of them popping up. And hey, Miguel, nice to see you. All right. And somebody's asking about Taylor Holiday. Watch this vid. We'll get into all of that too. We're on the side of we do not claim the pronouns of victim. And we don't run a business based on lies, manipulation, a lack of responsibility, predatory pricing, and a functional lack of knowledge about what we are paid for. No, I'm in the business of making it so that you never need anybody else. Right? If you come into the Facebook Ads MBA program, it means that you're never going to need any other help. If you come into Disruptor School Inner Circle, now, yes, most people end up staying for years, but at some point they're only staying because of the community and because there's new classes every day and the new masterclass. They're getting unlimited access to everything, but they've leveled up. And the Disruptor Agency Brand Accelerator program is not an ad agency where my hope is to get you on the hook for 3 months, then put you on to like the once you've gotten off the onboarding team, now you go to the other team of folks where we may or not fire them tomorrow. Who knows? And their job has nothing to do with the success and failure of your team. And hopefully every call just basically starts with a successful sales pitch of, we spent X amount of money, and this is how much credit for all of the success of the entire rest of the team we deserve credit for. No, the Disruptor agency, our brand accelerator program is, how do we make it so that you don't need us anymore? And like we've been talking, all day about the latest graduate, increase the LTV by like 30%, increase the AOV on the first purchase by like 20%, organize their Facebook ads, got them to a point where they legitimately feel like, we don't need these folks to run our ads, and we know how to do the business construction, and we figured out the PSM, and we figured out, like, they've gotten to the point where they've graduated above needing our help. If somebody operates their business by making you dependent on them, then that person ultimately does not have your best interest at heart. And when it comes to digital marketing, something where if you do it right, anybody can do it in a couple hours a week, max. The idea that you should be paying somebody your hard-earned money for them to set up a call where they take credit for the rest of the team's work and your hard-earned energy, in my opinion, is just an intellectually dishonest space. So let's get into it today. This is a brand new thing. And I'd love to share this, by the way, with everyone. So we'll figure out a way. We'll figure out a way to do that. I probably need to set up the many chat. As a matter of fact, give me 24 hours. Or if you're watching this after the live, it'll probably be live already. But we'll figure out a keyword. Let me know the keyword you think that would be best. But right now, we're going to share. We're going to just go ahead and share this. Where's it at? Where's it at? Come on. Where's preview? Where's preview at? I want this one. Oh, open with preview. Okay. There we go. Boom. All right. Ladies and germs, here we go. All right. Now, this is information that anybody running ads for a long period of time should absolutely know. And information that most people will never share with you. And to be fair, information that most people that should know it actually don't. And I don't want that to come across as a pejorative. I totally understand. Like, I've been in the game for over 12 years. For what it's worth, I did go to college. I have 3 college degrees. I learned this before digital marketing, before Facebook ads existed. And to be fair, these known things that have been happening for over 100 years are impacting your ads right now. So what we're going to do is break down month by month everything you need to know, why and when everything happens with your ads. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. I can't answer a question unless you ask it. And we are here today because Disruptor School is about empowering the community. It's about demystifying Facebook ads. It's helping you see more success and less stress so that you are less and less dependent on their bullshit. All right? Now, between the break of the last session and this one, I did run up to Dunkin' and get myself some espresso because Daddy's running on fumes. But you all give me so much. I love it. All right? So let's get through Q1 and then to get some of your questions. And we're just going to plow through some YouTube comments. All right? So the digital marketing calendar, why and when everything happens with your ads. Charley Titchener. That's me. Founder. Nice guy. Founder of DisruptorSchool.com. Guy that's regularly bringing brands to 7, 8, 9 figures, multiple D2C exits, and all around just like, if you want to know what everybody's going to talk about in 2 years, you can listen to me today. All right, let's go. Q1. You guys like my Canva template work? Yeah, there we go. All right, January. January is the lowest CPMs of the year. And this is for several big reasons. Number one, in the Northern Hemisphere, this is when we have the most inventory. And what I mean by that is the days are short. So people are on their devices more often and for longer periods of time when they are on their devices. What this means is there's more places for Facebook and Instagram to show ads and to more people. So in supply and demand, the unit economics of the world, there's more supply. Now, let's flip to the other side of it. Demand. Well, demand goes way down. Why? Because it's Q1 of the fiscal year and retailers already blew all their spend. They have their cash is going into inventory to stock up for spring. And while there's massive buying power out there on a cash flow basis, if you have quarterly or annual budgets, you're not blowing your load in January when you just cleared the shelf in every store for the last 45 days. It doesn't make sense. But if you're in direct to consumer, or if you're in SaaS or lead gen or whatever else, what you need to know is there are folks like me who would be spending $1 million a day. And yes, I have spent $1 million a day on Facebook ads. And I did it back when CPMs were like $2-3. And by the way, it took like a week for an ad to fatigue. So if anybody says ad fatigue's a given, remember ad fatigue is operator error. What we need to understand here is that all the big brands in the world, the Macy's, the JCPenney, the Hebe, the Target, you can go overseas. All of the major retailers in the world, every big brand, and even the brands that are sold in big box retailers, the Nikes, the Nissan, when I was running up Levi with the Levi's team and Activision and Apple, they're not spending nearly as heavily in January as they were in Black Friday. So what this means is there are thousands of businesses not spending hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars a day. And there's more people on more devices for longer. So supply and demand, CPMs are at a record low. And there's massive buying power still. Because in January, we are dealing with a season change. In January, people have spent at least the last 45 days, if not longer, buying for other people. We've just got out of a gifting period. But what happens when you get out of gifting? You're like, what did I not get? What do I want? New year, new me. What am I going to spend my money on? And this is the tail end of Q5, by the way. And we'll get to that at the very end. The point here is simple. People are spending as much money in beginning and middle of January as they did in the beginning and middle of December. The difference is they're spending it on themselves and they're spending aspirationally. And because they're spending it on themselves, the AOVs can be astronomically higher. This is a great time to get a higher AOV. You can buy higher quality customers. For instance, when I was running 310 Nutrition, and I joined in 2016, 2017, they're doing about 15 million. In 2019, it sat across the desk, from Deloitte, and it passed across a $98 million check. That was about 20 months. The AOV in January was easily 3 to 5 times as high as it was for the rest of the year. If you took all of January out and just took the rest of the year. Now, that's because it was not a weight loss shake. It was meal replacement. But lifestyle changes, consumer behavior, people were buying on themselves. You have to understand, if you're willing to make an investment in yourself, and I come to you with a buy 3, get 1 free, you're far more likely to do that in January than you are in November. Now, a lot of folks will still run up the trial. We're getting a lot of trials for super cheap. We're discounting. We're getting customers. You're getting the worst quality customers because remember, price-conscious consumers are price-conscious, not brand loyal. When people spend a lot of money, they're making a commitment to themselves and to the brand and to their future. And like, if you got a 3-day pass to the gym, you might go once. If you get an annual pass to the gym, you're still probably not going to go every day, but you're likely to go at least a dozen times, if not a lot more, especially if you get a trainer. The point is you're willing to invest in the person that you want to be. And remember that spending, people don't buy what you're selling. They're buying what that can mean for them. And if you ever watch Mad Men, that's one of the things that Don Draper was so good at presenting. Right? It's not what this thing does for you. It's what this thing says about you to yourself and to other people. And January is the lowest barrier of the entire year to get that to happen. So if you're reading the tea leaves, it's the lowest CPMs with the highest correlation to aspirational buying, which means you can get the highest AOVs for the lowest price. This should be your most profitable on a margin per transaction basis month of the year. Or you're going to be smart. And instead of stacking a giant margin, you're stacking a ton of volume of higher quality customer. Because when Q2, Q3 comes around, those customers are going to be in your email list. And when Facebook is broken, which chuckleheads and cost cappers and all these other nonsense folks say every year at the exact same time every single year. Instead of turning off your Facebook ads, which you know you can't do because you have inventory and you bought that inventory on credit, but you can't pay your rent on credit cards. You can't pay salary on credit cards. You need cash flow. Well, if you spent all of January getting aspirational buyers, let's say you got 1,000 of them, and all you needed to make it through the week was an extra 20 sales, can you get a 2% conversion rate on those higher quality customers that have already heavily invested in your business? That's a substantially more effective thing to do than to slash your prices. And what's the Taylor Holiday one? Because somebody brought him up here. His tweet that just pissed me off. Keep your bids low and your budgets high, right? That just intellectually dishonest, ridiculously disrespectful to the bank account piece of advice that legitimately costs people thousands of dollars, if not their ability to operate their business every year. And again, we had it in an earlier session, but you can just set up an automated rule to make sure you don't spend through everything. And he won't even give that piece of advice. And when I've confronted him about this in public, he's just like, well, operators should be, on top of their stuff. Okay. So you give shit advice to destroy somebody's business. When they take your advice and things go poorly, it's their fault. I mean, I get it. You shouldn't take bad advice. The problem is there's nobody out here saying that, by the way, this is a snake oil salesman. There's a fucking wolf in the hen house. We're 18 minutes in. I could probably cuss. Oh, well, YouTube. I apologize. We might not be able to monetize this one. Oh, well. Oh, well. This little session might have some struggles. We'll see. We'll see. They'll I think I got to pass on like one or two of these. After that, it's going to be tough. Okay. So let's get to February. What do you say? By the way, again, drop Disruptor in the chat. And at the end of this, in about an hour and 30 minutes, we're going to do a spin to win. Winner gets a free Disruptor School hat delivered to you anywhere in the world and a $100 gift card to disruptorschool.com. I almost called it to Facebook. All right. And we'll do a little review of disruptorschool.com if you don't quite know what all that is. But let's keep going. Let's stack more value, right? Why are you here? February. All right. This trend stops. Around the second week of January, we begin to see this aspirational buying behavior cease, right? Q5 is kind of over. And we'll get to that in a bit. Here we go. Mike with the comments. Entering. Yeah. Oh, man. Yash, Per, Mike. I love it. Keep it coming. Also, those big brands, they're going to start spending money again. Why? Well, because they've got things to sell. Remember, they stopped spending money because they have all that cash flow. They're paying for inventory and costs and doing all the planning and stuff. Yeah, but now we've got Valentine's Day and we've got the Super Bowl. We've got mega buying holidays and big media things. You know what happens then? Remember before we were talking about retailers blew all their spend and they pulled back? Well, by the second week of January, especially rolling into February, that's over with. Now, we still have massive amounts of inventory, and this is probably the month with the second highest inventory of the year. But we also have more competition from folks who are willing to spend $1 million a day and not make a penny for it. When I was spending $1 million a day, I was doing that on engagement campaigns. There was no, to be fair, at the time, the Facebook pixel didn't even exist. Conversion campaigns didn't exist, but they weren't link click campaigns. We weren't, and at the time you had to put a pixel on every single action on every single button, and they were all individual pixels. We weren't even trying to make money. Think about it. There are people out there spending 7 figures a day, 7 figures a week, where their KPI has nothing to do with sales. Which means they're getting the same eyeball that you're bidding on, but for cheaper because they're not trying to sell something. Which means that end user on Facebook or on Instagram isn't a button. It's not like TikTok being QVC. It's just, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's kind of a thing that's interesting. Okay, Subway coupon. All right, whatever. But the point is, you're competing with people who in a month can have a rounding error greater than the amount of revenue you'll drive in a day or a month or a year. And they don't even care about making sales. I was spending $1 million a day for CBS television. They don't even sell anything. We were just trying to get Wheel of Fortune to win Sweeps Week. Now, to be fair, what we did was spend $1 million to make sure the Wheel of Fortune won Sweeps Week and had to rewrite the rules around the 20% rule on Facebook because when you show the Wheel of Fortune game board, it violates the 20% rule. So because of that, we working with the engineering department, we were able to push through that the 20% rule only had to apply to the thumbnail. So we could have the Wheel of Fortune icon be the thumbnail and then auto skip on all placements so that we could get the game board into a video. That was me. Amongst others, but I was, none of it is all one person. So what do we need to keep going with? And thank you so much value already, Jimmy. Yeah, that's all we do here. That's all we do, right? It's not like a whiteboard. And I've got half a mind to pull up this whiteboard from our man TC or TH over at CTC of like, here's the measure incrementality and exclusion. And just like, homie, that is not at all how you measure incrementality. That is, and then there was something about like, these two lines look the same. Clearly they're correlated. Yeah. But also like Google searches for the word sus is directly correlated with the stock price of like Viacom or some really dumb thing. I forgot what it was. I'll pull it up here. Hold on a second. Why am I pulling it up on my phone? This is great television, right? Or great radio. Let's see. What was it? Okay. Lululemon's stock price is directly correlated, incidentally, to the amount of Google searches for that is sus. Maybe two lines that kind of look similar with no context aren't causational. But hey, he's just a guy running a big data company on top of an ad agency. What does he know? He shouldn't be held accountable for knowing what he's talking about in public. Whatever. All right. So February, the buying power goes down. We have a massive influx of spend. And budgets are discretionary. So these folks are forcing budget. Remember, budgets are often quarterly or annual. Now, if we didn't spend a lot in January, what do we have in February? Too much budget. So not only are we maybe going to blow $1 million a day during the Super Bowl, which, you know, you could easily do. I've done it. I bought a trending hashtag when Persil was getting introduced to the United States. I was part of that team with Henkel. I think we dropped $500,000 to buy a hashtag on Twitter to trend during the Super Bowl, and then had a whole bunch. It was a whole thing with the professional, all of that fun stuff. If you see Persil in the Target, understand. By the way, Tide has a 7-figure daily budget to own any keyword with the word laundry in it, so that you can't buy it. They're allowed to spend that much every day so that you can't even bid on that term. There's a little PPC nonsense for you. And I respect it. I respect it. Like, if you can just muscle people out, do it. Game, respect, game. It's the Wild West. Go for it. So in February, platform level costs go up and user buying behavior goes down. So what happens in the middle of February? Oh, Facebook is broken. Cost caps don't work anymore. Your Game Genie, your cheat code just didn't work anymore because now it's not operating with a thumb on the scale. Why did your cost caps break in February? Because of this. That's why. That's why it breaks every February. Now, sure, this year there were 3 days over a month-and-a-half period where Facebook had a data outage. Is that the reason that cost cappers stopped being able to run successful ads? No. It's because they didn't have any data integrity to boost a successful business model by using Facebook properly. Instead, it was just, let me pillage the existing funnel with underpriced attention. Oh shit, the attention got more expensive and people are less likely to buy. I guess the machine is broken. As just a note, when we're talking about integrity here, a good operator doesn't blame their tools when they fail at their job. In Disruptor School, every win is because of a team member. Every loss is because of me. I will fall on every sword and champion everybody else. Because that's the way the world works. And, you know, I'm not a, one of the do 3 cold plunges and run a marathon before breakfast like small dick energy agency bros. I'm the guy that taught the guy that they learned from, and then like they're playing through a game of telephone on the playbook that I wrote years ago, and that's their entire business model. Just without any of the integrity parts. But they're really good salespeople. And to be fair, I'm not talking shit about everybody, but most agencies, most service providers are mediocre at best. The most popular ones aren't the best. Almost unequivocally, the most popular people aren't the best ones. And every now and again, you get super popular people that are also just amazing human beings, right? Like, it's kind of hard to say that LeBron James is a terrible human being, right? LeBron James is not Michael Jordan off the court. Kobe, right? I mean, and they've all, I'm talking basketball. Everybody's got their ups and downs, but like the most popular people, let me put it to you this way. The most successful salesmen are very rarely the people that are best at the job. And that's ultimately because very few people who are good teach for a living. That's actually why I started Disruptor School, because I found that I was helping people build 7, 8, 9-figure businesses year after year after year, exits and D2C, SaaS and lead gen and e-com. And ultimately, there was such a huge gap. And all of my former students and all the people that learned from people that learned from me were now teaching stuff that was generations below what I had already put out into the world. So I was like, screw it. I'm going to go out there and help people cut years off of the learning curve to save jobs and create jobs and help people achieve their dreams. Let's get to March. Buying behavior goes back up. Why? Well, we're not buying purely for winter anymore. As a matter of fact, spring is rolling around. Those big ticket items that we bought in January and Christmas and November, if they're at all consumable, they're all gone. The clothes change, the behavior change. We change as people. That CPM spike levels off. And we get more back to a mid-January feel. Because that huge spending power that came in, well, it's gone. Not to say that people aren't spending a ton of money. It's just you don't have massive insurgencies of cash. Or basically, I've been at big agencies. I was a supervisor at Omnicom, which is like not, I worked at so-and-so ad agency. Like, it's like there's 4 ad agencies that operate like 95% of the money spent on social media, and I was supervisor in the LA office. Like our brands were like Apple, Nissan, Henkel, Mitsubishi, Levi's, right? Like those were the budgets we were talking about. And some other stuff, CBS television and whatever else. Activision, right? The point is, like some people are trying to push sneakers. We're pushing Call of Duty, right? The point is, if I know I need to make my nut, I'm going to throw it all when people are buying. And I'm just going to do the same thing everybody else is doing. So huge spike in February, drop off in March. Now, there's more buying behavior and less spending, less external super spenders. I got to remember that term. Less, spending from the super spenders, but also inventory goes down. So inventory goes down a little bit. The outside forces drop dramatically and buying behavior goes up. So we see that things are doing pretty well. Mostly. Although towards the end of the month, what happens? Big companies have to spend their quarterly budget. Why is the end of March every single year difficult for small brands, small to medium brands? And I'm talking about for folks doing less than a couple $100 million a year, small to medium businesses. Well, it's because the folks doing a couple billion a year, if I don't spend my Q1 budget, I'm not going to get as much money next year. If I asked for 10 million and I delivered my goal at 8.5, do you think I'm going to get 10 million next year? No, we can spend that 1.5 somewhere else. So there's a spike that happens towards the end of the month because basically like, oh my God, we got an extra $4 million lying around. Let's just throw it into all these platforms. And that buying behavior that we talked about before, a little bit of a dip. So buying behavior dips, inventory dips a little bit, and then towards the end of the month, boom, big, huge spike in spending. So now you've understood why every February Facebook is broken. And why every January, man, these are the cheapest CPMs forever. We're back, baby. Every year. I've seen it for a decade. Like clockwork. And every year towards the end of March, people are like, I don't know if I trust our ad agency. Maybe it's time to start looking around. Start interviewing ad agencies, and ad agency turnover season starts in like June and July. It's because people are unhappy at the end of March. All right. Now, this is a great segment, real quick. We're going to come back to all of this stuff. But we got questions mounting up in the chat and a lot of YouTube comments. So let's go to the YouTube channel real quick. Let's make a deal. I'm going to do 3 YouTube comments, 2 questions from the chat, and then we'll get back to it. All right? Maybe I'll take it back. We're going to do 5 YouTube comments because these things are stacking up. Like, it used to be a couple days ago. Now it's like hours ago. Like, we need to catch up. So all that being said, let me just shut up and let's put it on the screen and let's get to it. Let's get to it. Okay. YouTube comments. Boom. All right. Whoop. I'm zooming in on the wrong one. There we go. All right. Fabio. Charlie, for real, you can't imagine how much I love those infos about ad frequency and its funnel stage. It makes so much sense. Yeah, this is what we're talking about, 4PI analysis, right? I observed is written as part of the funnel as used by Facebook. And that valuable 7 golden rules of growth in Facebook ad viewers. Yeah, by the way, we do have a lead magnet if you want to check it out. It's disruptorschool.com/LM_7 golden rules. If you wrote that down, awesome. LM_7 golden rules. If you don't want it, you don't have to take it. If you want to take the action, go for it. Those 7 golden rules will fundamentally change. That is better advice than you will get in 3 months in admission or like anything you're going to find on Chase Chappelle's or like sum together the net value of like 10 to 15 hours of Ben Heath. And it's not that Ben is a bad guy. He's a good dude. He just knows his market is not where people want to be. It's for folks trying to get there. Like, I deal with entrepreneurs and business owners. Some folks deal with wantrepreneurs. Some folks deal with who can we steal money from. Ben is not in the who can we steal money from category. Solid guy. Very much respect what he's done. And I appreciate that he's changed his message. And he's even called himself out a few times. And he's featured me on his channel. And like, I got nothing ill to say. We're just talking to 2 different types of people. And that's a beautiful thing. Because I'm not for everybody. You got to kind of know what I'm talking about for this to make sense. Anyway, may I ask, as it is mentioned, as used by Facebook, is it really an internal reference used by Facebook employees? Or maybe it's helpful info, official info from the Meta Center or empirical observation of yours, which I believe there's also tons of value. Appreciate that. Fabio, when we're talking about this is how it's being used by Facebook, what we're referencing is if your frequency, and again, if you're looking at frequency in your Facebook ads and you're not looking at it by day, you're looking at a completely useless data point. If you're like, my frequency is like a 4 over the last month. Really? It's a problem that once a week somebody saw your ad? Please, get them to see my ad every single day until they buy. Or until they tell me to piss off and then I won't waste any more money on them. Your frequency isn't nearly high enough at a 4. Go make some money. What we're talking about when it's coming to by day, we're talking about how these frequencies, when part of the funnel as used by Facebook, what we're referencing here is that these ads, if the frequency is a 1.5, that means the average person sees the ad 1.5 times a day. Or to put it a different way, 50% of people saw that ad twice. Literally, 50% of your money is spent on retargeting. And that's all we're really getting into. Understanding how much of your money is being spent on retargeting, even if you're putting in, like we talked about before, with the... I'm willing to bet good intentioned former ball player who completely missed the boat when it came to his looking at incrementality. If my frequency is a 1.05, that means 1 out of 20 people saw my ad twice. 5%. If it's a 1.5, that means 50% of people saw my ad twice. 1 out of 2. If my frequency is like a 2.3 on a daily basis, it means the average person saw my ad more than twice. That's what we mean by, is it prospecting? Did people see it once? Is it mid-funnel? Maybe 20, 30% of people saw it more than one time today? Or is it a bottom funnel? Is it a straight up retargeting ad where maybe everybody saw it at least twice? That's what we're getting into. And again, these are things that nobody else is talking about. It astonishes me that people still look at Facebook as like an audience-based thing, even though quite legitimately it hasn't been that since 2018. And a lot of these folks, like, I don't mean to make this sound a certain way, but we're just going to say it. I was farther along than they are now on the day they started 5 years ago. And it's just me being like, look, I happen to be the dumb kid with like an MBA and a BA and an associate's degree that interviewed really well. And Omnicom made a bad hire putting me as a supervisor when I had never had a day job before. But oh well. Facebook loved me because I knew how to run case studies and I had $1 million daily budgets and nobody ever wanted to talk. There was a period of time where nobody wanted to talk to the Facebook rep. Like, get out of here. We're running Yahoo ads. What are you doing wasting my time? I remember Tumblr reps used to be more valuable than the Facebook reps. Tumblr. Yeah. Caleb, do you pick custom thumbnails for 322? No, I don't. I know some folks do, but I don't believe in the custom thumbnail game unless I've specifically made artwork for that campaign, for that marketing effort. But if it's like, pick which frame from this video is the best one to show to somebody, some folks do, Caleb, and they swear by it. Barry Hot will swear by it. I'll bet you Dara Denny swears by it. I'll bet you the fire team, Higher Fire, like, I'll bet you they're swayed by it. And you know what? They're probably right because they're great at creative. You hear me, fire team? I respect your game when it comes to creative. I just think you fundamentally misunderstand the data side of things. But if you built something and you have the whole thing laid out, go for it. Who am I to say whether it's right or wrong? I just know that when I pick, if you ever ask me which ad is going to work, guarantee whichever I say works, don't even launch it. Don't even launch it. I'm wrong every time. Fabio, fantastic. DM me, Fabio, all right? No, we're good. We're good, okay? DM me, buddy. All right, Fabio asks, very interesting perspective on CPMs and the funnel stage. In fact, I never paid it too much attention. Yeah, we were just talking about, in reference to the frequency that we're talking about, CPM is directly correlated to frequency, or it should be. It's not the incidental stuff, right? It's not like what Taylor was arguing for. And when I pulled up is this sus matching Lululemon stock price? If it's a bottom of funnel ad, generally speaking, the CPM is higher because you're showing that ad to fewer people and you're paying a premium to retarget folks. Instead of making more people happy, you're trying to convince a smaller group of people to do a thing, which inherently doesn't make them as happy. Like, your ad is a billboard in the sky blocking a beautiful sunset. You pay higher CPMs for burdening Facebook. Man, Fabio is banging away. All right. We're gonna knock out one more of your things, Fabio. Okay. Love it out, Charlie. Really good insights. We'll double down on 4PI analysis. I manage around 4K a day and one ad account of mine and hitting the point where we need to be more profitable. Love it. Okay. Hook rate of this ad. All right. Okay, here we go. I appreciate all the stuff, Fabio. Let's just keep it moving. All right. I thank you so much. All right. Casper Nilsson, 5502. Hi, Charlie. How does this rule work if we're focusing on tracking blended CPA? In other words, CPA on Facebook might suck, but the blended CPA is still great. First off, thank you so much for even acknowledging that that's a real thing. Most people I talk to are like, I don't know, I can't make Facebook work. It's running at $150. My business is making sales at a 20 and I can afford 40, but I can't spend more on Facebook. It's not efficient. What I'd recommend here, Casper, is this. If you can afford to spend more because your blended CPA is great, just spend more. Eventually, you're going to get to a spot where you're going to be able to identify a relationship with the amount of money you're spending and how Facebook fits in the marketing portfolio. And this is something inside the Facebook Ads MBA program. We talk about ecosystem ROAS. I was talking with an MBA student in Australia earlier, and he was like, I didn't do the ecosystem ROAS doc for a long time. And I really wish I'd done it like my second week. I can finally see. Like, I can understand incrementality across platforms in a blink of an eye. I immediately know what's working, what's not working. And I can begin to think monthly and quarterly. I'm like, yeah, bro, there you go. And he's like, man, this last week, every week in this month, my CPA is climbing. It's climbing. It's climbing. And I'm at like, man, I needed sales for 25, right? And you use this exact example from Casper. I need sales for like a 25. That's the max. You know, it's like a 23 maybe is the max I can really do. And Facebook's coming in at like a 27, 28. I think I have to turn it off. And I'm pointing to him. It's like, well, you also raised AOV by like $7. So first off, Mazel Tov. If your AOV is $7 higher and your CPA target is 23, can we go back and say, hey, look, can I get $3 of that extra 7 as an allowable CPA across the entire business? Now, all of a sudden, you coming in at like a 25 and change, you're below target. Spend more. My Facebook is still going up. Great. Spend more on Google. Clearly, it's under indexed. And what happens when you spend more on Google? That Facebook number might get better, might get worse. Who cares? The attribution, the ROAS of your Facebook ads has nothing to do with the money in your bank account. We started laughing, and then I wished him a good day, and that was that. But again, when you're in the MBA program, we have some one-on-ones every now and again. We just dive into your ad accounts and make it work. If you want to know more about the Facebook Ads MBA program, you can go to Disruptor School /MBA ads, or just go to disruptorschool.com. You can check it out. And matter of fact, I'm going to present exactly what that looks like while we get to some of your questions in the video. Okay, cool. So this is, by the way, disruptorschool.com. Unlimited buy 3, get 1 free. Spend $350. Get a $50 gift card, right? Like 75,000 marketing professionals, right? Like, what do good people have to say? This is Ron Shah from Obvi and Chew on This podcast. This is Jonathan Snow from Snow Agency, 4 Exits. This is Chase Mosaney, CMO of Heat Map, creator, co-founder of Creative OS. This is what they have to say. One of the most experienced and passionate, one of the best in the game. The GOAT strikes again. Like, this is what these people have to say. But if you scroll on down, you're going to see the option for the inner circle, which we've talked about. This is where you get access to all of the masterclasses in Facebook, all of the masterclasses in Disruptor School for all platforms, all of the SOP docs, so all the ebooks and everything else, all of the templates and worksheets and all of that stuff. Plus, there's a private community and a classroom, and I should probably share what that looks like, and we'll do that here in a little bit. And you can also check out the Begin to Win Facebook Ads Disruptor Bundle, which gets you the one campaign blueprint, which tells you how to build a campaign, the single most stable and scalable Facebook ad campaign you can build. You get the predictable profit scaling blueprint, which helps you understand cash flow, so you never need to make the complaint about being first order profitable or ever have a conversation with anybody about attribution ever again. You can stop wasting your time and your own breath trying to let somebody take advantage of you, and you can start focusing on building a business versus like being scared because today went bad. Or you can check out the MBA program. There you go. $6,500 for the standard, $12,000 for the premium. Check it out. All that to be said, let's get to some questions. All right. Just wondering why you beefed Taylor Holiday. Just watch his visit on The Operator. Seems like an all right guy. Hey, look, I don't have any problem with him as a person. I think he's a nice guy. I have my own issues with him in like private communication. And I think that he's a very nice person who does exceptionally well at finding amazing talent. You know, Shireen, I think is her name. She just left CTC and she's killing it. Nick Shackelford, former CTC guy, he's killing it. Savannah Sanchez, former CTC person, she's killing it. If you go on YouTube and you look way back to like 2018, there was a moment where they were trying to push some like link click campaign to a fundraiser thing at Shopify LA. And there's this just asshole in the back of the room telling them the way it is. That was me, by the way. And Nick walks forward and he's like, all right, repeat that again. Okay. And then Savannah walks forward and is like, hey, by the way, we're hiring. And I declined. I'm sure it was a joke, but also like, anyway, Taylor and I go way back. I think he thinks differently of me because how he thinks of himself, and we communicate differently. But I also think we're a lot alike. We're a lot alike in a way where we could be great friends. But I guess we'll be frenemies, where I have no ill will, and I just try to hold people accountable to their actions and their words and the ramifications of their behavior. And some people are upset when that targets them. Yash, what should the starting budget be? How many times the CPA? Yash, great question. Don't have a lot of context for this one, so I'm going to try to answer it as generically and as helpfully as possible. My number one piece of advice is, what can you afford? If you've got one campaign and you're already making sales, how much of that volume of profit from your existing sales can you invest in ads to grow whatever you're doing? And if your answer says, well, I don't have sales yet, then don't run ads. Number one piece of advice I can give you is, if you don't know how to sell your product, then don't run your ads. Fabio's over on IG. Buddy, there you go. All right. Yeah, we got a lot of comments stacking up on IG. I just thought it was auto-populating, but I just hit the scroll and I just completely missed all of it. Okay. Oh, well, let's see if we got anything else here. Luke says, argument for marketing others' products versus your own. Marketing other people's... Running your own business means a lot more than can you sell things on the internet. Inventory and taxes and all of that stuff is very difficult. And it's the best operators generally aren't good marketers because they're very good at doing other things. Being an operator and being a marketer are two very different skill sets. And that's why I think most drop shippers that I know, and a lot of them that very much dislike me because they're out of that, like, you know, Andrew Ferris and Ashton Shanks and Taylor Holiday, like cost cap bro camp, it is because they think that what they have is success. And what I tell them is, like, that's validation of an idea. Success means using that as the starting point, not the finish line. And some people like to hear that, some people don't. And I get it. We exist in a space of, to be fair, digital marketing is not unlike fighter pilots. Like, it's a very alpha space, right? Like, you kind of have to know that you got it. I see very, very few people who are kind of meek and shy that are also excellent digital marketers when it comes to being aggressive and growing businesses. I think they're phenomenal at optimization and execution. I don't think they're great at growth. And that's, you know, just a personal assumption on my own, from my own experience. But yeah, says, suppose you sell a product worth $100. What should be the starting budget? What can you afford, buddy? Like don't spend money you don't have to promote a thing that you can't sell. What's the best way? Okay, let's see. Let's get to a question. Good seeing you, more active. Yeah, Malik. I'm doing a live with Malik on LinkedIn this weekend. That'll be super fun. I'm eventually going to sleep, I promise. All right, let's get to another question. All right. Hajim Takua. I'm going to guess that's probably mispronounced. But again, white dude from the suburbs. I got it wrong, probably. What is the best way to find winning products? That's a tough one. I got to tell you, I got to admit, that's a tough one. I am not the best at product discovery when it comes to drop shipping. I'm not. There are people a lot better than me. What I will say is that I would try to focus on not finding like a winning product. Focus on finding a product where if somebody buys it, I can sell them something else. That should be your criteria. If it's a one-time only purchase niche, don't mess around with it. Drop shippers are selling a product when they should be building a brand. I built a brand doing it. Anybody can do it. And I've laid that out in multiple videos on the YouTube. And I'm not going to be pulling up everything today. But I mean, it's only so many hours we're going to be here. So yeah, anyway, hopefully that's helpful in that it's a straightforward answer, even if it's not really what you want to hear. And if it is, fantastic. By the way, this is Disruptor School, 7-day trial for $100, and then it's $1,000 a month after that. There you go. Give it a shot. Begin to win at Facebook Disruptor Bundle, $7 trial, and then it's $50 a month after that. That's it. If you can't ROI on that, you probably shouldn't be in business. Let me put it that way. All right. Let's see if there's any other questions over here. I think we cleared them through them all. Kai Rogers, I started running only DCT ads now. Fantastic. Glad to hear it. All right. I think Dev. I don't know if you're still watching on Insta, Dev, but I miss you on our MBA program calls, bro. Smart guy. Okay. Anyway, let's get back. I can see it, Zohib. If you have a question, I can answer. We have some folks on Instagram. So go ahead and ask it, and I'll get to it after this next bit. We're going to get to Q2, okay? So go please ask it. And if you're not here, you can always go back to YouTube and watch this again around whatever the time it will be. It'll probably be like an hour and 10 minutes in or whatever. Look for the thumbnail that says is Facebook broken? And me being like, in my best like Mr. Beast style thumbnail attempt. I don't know. I put like 3 minutes into it. I should probably care more. But let's get to Q2. April. It's the beginning of the quarter, so costs go up. Now, we've already covered this, but remember, quarterly budgets, time to spend more money. So costs generally go up. Now, we also have a change in behavior. There's a change in what people are buying. We're completely out of winter and into spring. So people are buying new things. And retailers are launching sales to clear their winter inventory and to attract people into their spring stuff. But this is when you really begin to see a lot of the stores on High Street, the department stores at the mall, right? Like they're running discounts on a lot of things, not for any particular reason, but they're running a lot of them. And it's because they're just trying to get rid of the winter inventory, because if it doesn't sell now, it might never sell. So when they're doing that in the real world, they're also dropping that money on the internet because like they've discovered that digital marketing is a thing and they're throwing money at it. Like, Macy's will do it. I did one of the very first DPA ads for Macy's. We had to pay this Australian data entry company $50,000 to take every SKU and variant and every color that was for sale on Macy's.com and put it into a spreadsheet because a product feed didn't exist. There was like 6 or 9 months where product feeds didn't exist. And there were these data entry folks to just stack in cash. I 100% think it was like 8 dudes in Australia that were just grabbing some folks in the Philippines and like just paying their life salary in a month and just being like, yo, just data entry, just pound it all out. And a lot of people made a lot of money. Now, because of this, people's buying behavior also goes up. We've been conditioned in April to buy more. It is a psychological impact of the marketplace. So while CPMs go up, that's what I mean by costs will beginning of the quarter, so costs will generally drop. Sorry, I think I said up. I meant drop. My apologies. I totally misspoke. right? We were talking about before in Q1, in the beginning of the quarter, like they're not spiking, right? We just had the huge spike at the end of March. And so now we can pull back a little bit. We're going to wait to pick our shots, right? Right? We're not coming out of the gate just swinging. My apologies. Totally I just made a mistake. Said the wrong thing. But I'm glad we caught it. So buying behavior goes up. Inventory stays about the same, meaning that the amount of people who are on their devices and the amount of time they're on their devices is more or less about the same. Hi, Stardust Digital Media. Good to see you. And Giovanni, lurking, doesn't comment. I know you're there, buddy. Nice to see you. And Zoheeb, ask that question because when we finish throughout Q2, I'll come right to you. If you got a question, I'm coming to you. Otherwise, I'm rolling into Q3. All right, Zoheeb? It is all you. Actually, we might also get to some YouTube stuff. So let's get into May because things begin to get a little spicy. All right. Oh, no peeking into June. All right. May. It's generally more expensive than April for a lot of reasons. Inventory goes down a little bit. It's getting warmer outside. The days are a little bit longer. People are on their devices less often, and for shorter periods of time. And they kind of already bought a lot of things they wanted to buy. So buying behavior, we've been conditioned to buy more, but in April, we get a lot of the easy sales, but May we get a higher volume of difficult sales, but that's also still a good thing. And by sales, I mean like transactions. It's easier to buy a customer in April than it is in May, but we get more customers in May. And inevitably what ends up happening in May is people start running sales. They start running discounts. We've manufactured it, think on average, 3 buying holidays in the month of May. Yeah. There's Memorial Day, there's Mother's Day, and there's almost always something else snuck in there. Which means like 1/3 of the month, everything must go. Why? Because we're trying to clear our spring inventory to pull sales forward before summer hits. So we can also sell a lot of that summer inventory and pick up our cash flow because we know it's going to happen in the summer. Now, we know what's going to happen in the summer, but most digital marketers, especially the folks, those low integrity operators running those scammer grifter agencies, like they are never going to tell you this stuff because, I mean, they should tell you, hey, by the way, it's going to get really tough in here. Let's do annual planning so that we can ultimately advise you to spend less. Our commission on your ad spend will be smaller. And Taylor, I know you don't charge on a commission. I'm not just coming for you, buddy. But again, there are so many advertisers in the world that listen to what you have to say, Taylor, that run their own business, that don't run on your business model. They haven't seen the contracts that you have. They run their business model in other ways. So when I talk about your practices, I'm also talking about the disciples that you have that copy everything except the business model because they can't get people to pay $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month. And they don't have the attorneys to sue people if they cancel their contract. So the point is May is when AOVs kind of drop. CPAs kind of rise. Generally a bit more expensive, but it's offset because buying behavior is conditioned, so we get a higher volume on a lower margin per sale. All right, brace yourselves, folks. It's June. Costs go up. But buying behavior, this should be behavior, but I clearly, I had a baby on my lap. Give me a break. Buying behavior goes down. Costs go up, but buying behavior goes down. Way less inventory. Supply and demand starts to really get out of hand with what we've been used to all year. This is where the folks that that identify with the pronouns of victim and butthurt start throwing things out there like Facebook is broken. Nothing works anymore. I give up. It's like, homie, this has happened every year in June for over 100 years. Hey, Taylor Whitworth, nice to see you, buddy. On the Insta, popping up. What up? Drop a hey. So we have to be really mindful of this. And by the end of June, beginning of July, it really starts to get hard. But this is important. This is important to know how many customers you got in the beginning of the year so that you can start to get repeat buyers. Remember, we talked about instead of running a bunch of discounts in Q5 in the beginning of the year, just let me get all those trial folks and see if I can get them to buy heavy. No, sell them get huge bundles. Huge bundles. Get folks to be pot committed, emotionally invested in your business. Because then in this time, you can pull your budget back on Facebook and focus on retention. And honestly, most people, when I say pull budget back, all that really means is spend more on search and Amazon because you probably haven't been paying attention to it. If you're paying attention to this right now, I can almost guarantee you 80% of you are not spending enough on search and Amazon. And here's how I can tell. We had 2 minutes of chuckle come in and talk about incrementality in a way that made absolutely no sense. Let me tell you about incrementality. Begin to track spend and revenue. Spend by platform, revenue in the business, volume of transactions. Now, begin to increase your budget only on search when the Facebook costs get too high. If your added spend on search results in a drop in your blended CPA, you're getting incremental results. That's how you measure incrementality. It's an analysis called shape of the curve, but you got to make sure you don't have the incidentally correlated things. And adding budget to Google and getting sales are not incidentally correlated. This is what we call bad data with a good salesman versus just good data from somebody that actually gives a shit about you. Differences of approach, right? So to the question of why we're beefing, I'm not beefing, just trying to correct him so that people don't suffer because they listen to what that person has to say. And Taylor's also said, well, hey, look, if you have a problem with what I'm saying, then tell me how to do it the right way. Motherfucker, I've been telling you for years. And then you take offense. All right. Might not have been the best idea to get this like triple, but whatever. I love you people. We're going to keep this going. So focus on your retention. I guarantee you right now, if you were to look at your ad account right now, you'd have a good idea of what's going on. But if I were to ask you, what is the value of an email address? You would not be able to give me a unit value. And more importantly, what's the value of an email address you got from a lead capture? And when does it depreciate past the point of profitability? Day 10, day 14? If you don't know that, then you're collecting a whole bunch of potential energy and then wasting it. It's like buying 37 gallons of milk because you want to put a little bit in a bowl of cereal and then, oh, it all went bad. And like, oh, milk is expensive. Yeah, you bought 37 gallons to fill up 3 fucking bowls of cereal. You didn't even have to buy 1 gallon. Oh, you mean I didn't have to spend $100? I could have spent like 4? Yeah. You're not using your assets properly. That's the problem. So focus on these things in June. All right. Now, Zoheeb has not, for those paying attention to the home game, has not asked the question yet. So we're going to keep going. Mind you, for those that want to get into the spin to win today, when we're going to cover it in about 45 minutes or so, drop Disruptor in the comments section, and then we'll do a live spin to win. Winner gets a $100 gift card and a free Disruptor School hat sent to you anywhere in the world. And I've been asked, and yes, if you've already won, I'm going to remove you from eligibility. Just for what it's worth. Let other people have some. Okay? But you can use code B2G1 on the site, on Disruptor School. And let's just walk through exactly what Disruptor School is, because I get this question all the time. You can use that and get buy two, get one free on any of the stuff here. Right? So if you shop the school, you go here, best selling, you can get this SOP and that SOP, you can get this one for free. Right? Maybe you get this one, and then you grab yourself a gift card for free and just use it later. Why not? You can grab any one of these things, and yes, it will be in the order of the value. You can't get a $7, and then go grab $1,000 one for free. It doesn't work like that. Although it used to. Somebody got it. Shout out to them for letting me know. And I saw it in the receipts, and I was like, well done, sir. Well done. Tip of the hat. Tip of the hat. But what we have in Disruptor School is all these SOPs. These are ebooks. These are guides for you to be successful. We also have the PSM course. You can understand how to appreciate your profitable scaling margin. In fact, all the Facebook ads SOPs are in this bundle, this Facebook ads bundle. It's all of the ones that are in white. You can get it here for one price. So instead of 147, 127, 67, whatever else, it's 247 for all of it. And to be fair, you can drop the code WAGMI and you get 20% off on that. But you can come in here and grab the complete Facebook ads bundle and the begin to win Facebook ads bundle. And then you're like, but I also know I gotta get that email. Charlie was just talking about the email thing. Is there anything for that? In fact, yes, there is. We have masterclasses here. This one, email capture and convert. You can come right here, and then you can at least triple the unit value of all the emails you get and make way more money in the first 10 days from the leads that you capture. This is taught by Philip Rivers, one of the best email marketers in the game, hundreds of millions in sales, has exited agencies. This guy knows what he's doing. And you get the SOPs, you get the docs, you get the live videos, you get the walkthrough on everything. Like, this is a very holistic masterclass. And in Disruptor School, we have that. We also have affiliate marketing from Noah from Social Snowball. We have Google Shopping made easy, right? We've got mastering YouTube SEO, the person that helped me build my YouTube channel to over 20,000 subs in the last year. Boom. Literally wrote down everything from thumbnails to script design, all that stuff. Intro to AI and assisted copywriting, right? How to build a winning Facebook ad account, the creative strategy guide from Sarah Levinger. Like, every single little step that you need to take in order to build your business, we have it here. And you can also see we have them in ad accounts, ad agencies, affiliates, AI, how to boost your AOV, auditing ad accounts, business development, consumer psychology, content, copywriting. We got more. The point is, the best marketers in the world are coming away and giving what they do better than anyone else, so that, like, you can make an entry-level employee be able to do that work. Like this building from the start, this is literally the blueprint on how Mute 6 was built. All of the documentation. Your retention as an ad agency will probably 2x just from grabbing this. Is that worth $250? Yeah. Google search? You don't have Google search down? Here you go. Google search masterclass. Boom, boom, boom. It's a bundle. Comes with the SOP. Notion docs, videos, ChatGPT instructions, and basically you download the Google Ads app and you take some of your best Facebook ads and using a little bit of wizardry from our man Raul, who also teaches a monthly class inside Disruptor School, a live workshop for a Google Ad account. You have Google Ads designed specifically to create incremental lift on your best Facebook ads. Easy peasy. I've done this myself repeatedly. It takes about 90 minutes, top to bottom, your first time, and I've gotten through it in like less than 30 when I knew what I was doing and I was prepped for it and stuff. 30 minutes to increase your incrementality and reduce your blended CPA, and it costs you $350. That's what we give here. These are the executional pieces that you need in order to level up your team. There's influencers in UGC from Danil from Incense. How to build a brand GPT. Mastering your newsletter marketing from Marketing Max, like the greatest newsletter marketer in the world, literally telling you how to drive revenue with a marketing newsletter. Just everything. That's what we do at Disruptor School. Okay. So let's get back to these comments here. All right. Muscle Boy 1463. All right. What do we got here, Muscle Boy? Hope you're doing well. I am. Have a quick question. This is on by the way, this is the video we have on simple Facebook ad automations. This is basically how you can automate, like, I'm not sharing the right screen. Wait a minute now. That's on me. I'm a dum-dum. Boom. This is the video we put up. Simple Facebook ad automations to boost your revenue, increase free time. This is how to use automation to run your ad account so you can be working like an hour a week and outperform everybody who day trades. Zach. Man, Zach was like from Homestead today or earlier, put up the tweet and was like, I left my ads alone for 10 days. I came back and it all went to my Advantage Plus, went to ads that didn't work anymore. There's no way you can just let the machine go. And I'm like, dude, if you don't train your team to be independent, if you can only be successful by micromanagement, don't blame them for failing when you leave. This, by the way, this video, which is free to watch, will teach you how to get your Facebook ad account completely automated, how to automatically scale budgets, optimize your ads, all of that stuff. If you're ever touching budgets, turning ads on and off, believe me, that is something you don't ever have to do. You don't ever actually have to do manually ever again. It's just complete waste of time. So on that video, we got this lovely comment. I got to scroll back down again. I'm glad we got to scroll for a while. Okay. I'm super keen on pursuing a career as a creative strategist and media buyer for D2C businesses. Awesome. Share some insights on what recruiters and brands specifically look for in candidates. I've noticed on LinkedIn that employers often ask for examples of written or video ads. From your experience, what other qualities or skills do employers value? Additionally, I have some experience in media buying. Do you believe it is worth pursuing a career in these marketing roles? Are those positions too saturated? Can you make a video that will help us start our career? Buddy, it's coming out tomorrow. That video. Legit, I think it's coming out tomorrow. Like, are you in my YouTube studio? But to answer this directly, real quick, Muscle Boy, 1463. By the way, I love the triple I action. That's what's up. Okay. If you can show people that you give a fuck, that matters. Getting a job, I'm not a great person to ask to get the entry-level jobs because I got started before Facebook ads existed, really, at scale. And I went from running ads to promote my band to running $1 million a day in like 9 months. Now, I've hired a lot of people. And I've helped a lot of people get jobs. A lot of the Facebook Ads MBA program folks start agencies or go get work at places, and they're some of the biggest killers in the world. I mean, if you want to be better than 80% of the people on the face of the planet in like 90 days, join the Facebook Ads MBA program. Like, guaranteed you will be better than almost any talking head on Twitter or YouTube. That's for certain. But the 3 pieces of advice I have for you. Number 1, pick a lane. You want to be a creative strategist and media buyer. Pick one. You're either data or you're creative. You're not both. And if you are both, there's somebody better than you at either one of those jobs. I'm going to hire the person that's better than you at either one of those jobs if that's the job I have. People don't get hired because they're good enough at everything. They get hired because they're the best at something. Second, get clients, start running media. You will not get the job if you don't know how to operate. If you can't talk the talk, somebody else can. Since you already have some experience in media buying, that is phenomenal. And the third point, is it worth pursuing a career in these marketing roles? Like, these positions will never be too saturated. The honest truth is, the money spent on Facebook ads has gone up every single year since Facebook released the ad platform. Same thing for Google, same thing for Amazon, same thing for TikTok. Like, this ain't going anywhere. Now, here's what they won't say out loud. I'm going to say it out loud. If you're at a job for 9 months, it's time to get a new job. That's the honest truth. When it comes to this space, most agencies still work like a job where you get a promotion. You don't want a promotion. You want your boss's job at the next spot. One reason that I was able to climb as fast and as aggressive as I did is I was never employed at a business for more than 9 months. And I went from entry level to teaching, to being one of the top 100 people in the world, and having half of them, the 50 in that room, be my students. Because instead of doing my job and collecting a paycheck, I aggressively tested the boundaries. And when I was ready for my boss's job, when I was as good as they are, I went and filled out that role. There was no need for loyalty. If you're good, you'll get a job. Bottom line. But I do have actually 2 videos. I have one that says how to get a job, and then what it actually looks like. And spoiler alert, very rarely is your job at an ad agency to do good work for the client. Yeah, that'll get you fired more often than not. Which is some serious heartbreaking stuff, but yeah. Yeah, all right, Munib, last question, then we're going to get back to our calendar because it's an hour and 20 minutes into this. And I know we have some other questions, and I wanted to try to get to everything. By the way, drop Disruptor in the chat if you want to get into today's giveaway. Yeah, Matt Silva from 8:09 p.m. And it depends on your time zones and my time zones and all of that other stuff. But yeah, Matt Silva. Sorry, Anonymous. If you want a 30-minute call with me, you got to join the Facebook Ads MBA program. Or you can buy a Facebook account audit. $4,000. I'll do a forensic accounting of everything. I'll give you the keys to the kingdom, and we have a call. And it'll be more than 30 minutes. Or you can just join the Facebook Ads. You can join the Disruptor School Inner Circle. And we'll have an hour-long call every week. That's $1,000 a month. $100 to get started. Do you have $100? Can I provide you enough value? We're like, man, it's $30 a day to stay here. Can I make $35 a day? Can I give you enough value that you're like, wow, $35 a day, that's it? And to be fair, the average person has been in there for years. So the answer is yes. Okay. I know we got some more questions. So Munib, does broad targeting also work on YouTube? I'm not the guy to ask. I am not the YouTube guy to ask. But Munib, if you join Disruptor School Inner Circle, you can ask our Google team, and they'll give you the right answer. They spend ungodly amounts of money on YouTube and Google search and shopping. They're the folks that did the Google shopping, the brand GPT, and the Google search ebook masterclasses, which are some of the most popular things in the school. So that'd be my answer. All right. Whew. I'm feeling it. You know, sometimes you come in waves. You know what I mean? There we go. And yes, I had a Dunkin' Donuts walking distance. So that's where my triple came from. All right. Let's get into Q3. All right. July gets really tough Because Amazon Prime Day is an inflection point, so they can unload money and they pull all the sales forward. And it's not just Amazon Prime Day. We see the peak of the antithesis of what we saw in January, where we have massive inventory. July is the exact opposite. So you have to leverage existing customers, send more emails and SMS. Think about launching limited products. Like get somebody to want to buy because it's not going to be around forever. Urgency is important. And again, pull back your budget and focus on retention. The other thing to think about in July is, why is nobody buying from you? It's because they already bought whatever you're trying to sell them at a discount 45 days ago, and they don't need anything. If you're not spending a ton of money, don't expect your customers to. Like, it astonishes me how many people assume the numbers on the screen to behave differently than they are. Those are real people. And at least in America, we have it's been getting better the last few years, but there's a gap in the wage, right? Like the cost of living was going up faster than the wage was. Now, not to get political here, and I'm not trying to do that, but over the last few years, a certain style of leadership was put forth to reduce that wage gap. And to be fair, in America, the wage gap now is greater than it was during the Great Depression. Like the gap between what you make at your job and the standard of living was better in the 1930s than it is today. We just have more access to debt and denial. And that's just an unfortunate truth. All right, everybody, it's August. All right. Buying behavior starts to pick up. People start to buy things for the fall. All right. Retail spending is down. Oh, thank God. Those people dropping millions of dollars a day that don't give a damn about making sales, they're getting out of the way. And this is where the best operators begin to really test their Black Friday, Cyber Monday bundles. Because remember, during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, what are we not doing? We are not discounting products. Do not discount your products on Black Friday. Price-conscious consumers are not brand loyal. Very, very few of you have enough brand equity that somebody will buy at a discount and then come back and pay full price ever. And if they're buying because of the discount, they will buy from the next person that gives them the discount. Figure out how to give somebody their entire LTV in one purchase and then discount that. Because if you can get it in one sale, that CPA will be a lot less than the 3.5 transactions you're paying $35 for. Instead of paying $105 to get those transactions, maybe you can get it for $60, maybe $70. You could probably double your margin on things, which also means you can massively improve your scale, which also means if you've been paying attention to what we're supposed to do in January, you can stack up people that are ready to buy. And if you start in August and you figure it out, what happens during Black Friday? Well, we'll get there. But the point is, for those playing along the home game, the world gets a lot easier for you to make more money off the people that come to your store. Your revenue per session and the volume of profit you make gets a lot better. And you're going to have a bunch of people talking about silly things like contribution margin and ROAS and MER. And you're going to be talking about, sure, but money? I get it. There's this nice math. And you sat down, you laid this whole argument out, but my bank account is bigger. Your way, my bank account goes down. My way, my bank account goes up. I don't care how many new math equations you come up with. One of them puts more money in my pocket, and it's not the one that says discounting and focusing on MER or like ROAS or contribution margin. It's understanding business fundamentals on cash flow. August is the time to start testing that. Now we're into September. Is the end of August, early September, things start to swing back in the favor of direct consumer marketers. Direct consumer behavior consumer. That probably made sense when I wrote that sentence. Oh, well, whatever. By the time you download this thing, it'll be fixed up. But this is the 4-month period, 5-month period where every one of those people that was playing the victim card in February starts posting out of context screenshots of their Shopify. Now, they don't post their ad account, or they post their ad account with the attributed revenue, but don't actually account for COGS or incrementality or any of that nonsense. Because again, why would they? If things aren't as sexy, why possibly would you promote that? At Small Dick Energy has no space here. Now, in September, your Labor Day weekend is the biggest sale of the month, so spending is waiting for that weekend. Now, why that's important in September is because there's a big surge. Remember, we were talking about quarterly planning and everything, right? There's a big surge around that. So spend is waiting for that weekend. It hits, but it doesn't return back to nominal. It drops back again because we're dealing with the waves, right? Of the retailers, of the big spenders. And this is when you start to really hit your Black Friday bundle pushes. You'll be like, well, Black Friday starts in November. Screw that. Black Friday starts at the end of August. You're just branding it differently. You're doing bundle testing. By the end of September, I want you to have tested at least 3 to 10 times as many offers as you will have live on Black Friday to see which one ultimately gets you the best PSM, profitable scaling margin. I want you to know, based off the results from August and September, when Black Friday runs around, which one of those offers gets somebody to buy a second time. If your LTV is $105 and you can sell a bundle for $120 in August and September, and then in Black Friday, somebody comes back and buys again, if they buy for like $80, $90, you've doubled the LTV of that customer. And you probably paid less because you were making the sales in September when everybody else was knifing each other in the streets, running discounts. And it was easier for you to make the sale on Black Friday because you're probably able to just send an email. These are the things, again, nobody else will tell you because either they don't know, in which case you shouldn't listen to them, or they do know and they're not telling you, in which case shame on them and you shouldn't listen to them. If people aren't telling you these things, I'll put it this way. If I'm trying to find an expert to listen to and they're legitimately either ignorant of or not sharing basic information that's been known by every decent business operator and anybody that got a master's degree in business for decades, and that fundamentally is the difference between success and failure for my business, I'm not going to listen to them again. Hold these people accountable, or they're just going to continue to run their snake oil salesman grift shit. All right. Whew. Hitting the home stretch here. Hitting the home stretch for this one. We're gonna bring this back up because I've been asked about it a lot. So we're gonna just throw up the Disruptor School Inner Circle while we ask some questions, while we answer some questions from the chat, and then we'll get back to YouTube. Again, this is step-by-step training. Not just in Facebook, but Google, CRO, email, creative development, YouTube SEO, like everything that you need to know. TikTok, influencer, newsletters, email, like it's all there. Unlimited access to all the masterclasses and SOPs. Daily lectures and classes. Weekly masterclasses. Live monthly workshops in Facebook and Google ads. Exclusive mastermind community, and Disruptor Bot access. Plus, you get access to the Disruptor School Classroom, which is all of these lessons. Every one of these things here is a Q&A session and a screen share deep dive question and answer with articles written and quizzes and all sorts of stuff. There's hundreds of them in there, and they're all searchable. It's $7 to enter. $1,000 a month after that. Sorry, it's $100 for 7 days. $1,000 a month after that. It'll cost you $35 If I can't make you $50 more because you spent 35, then you should quit. If I can make you 50 more, tell 2 friends. There we go. Simple. All right. Let's get to some long-standing questions here. Nicholas, from like over an hour ago. Sorry, Nicholas. Where can I learn the basics of running ads? Finished watching Hormozy's $100 million leads and ran probably like 2K on ads. Where can I learn the fundamentals? Number one place, honestly, if you were to ask me, is our Begin to Win at Facebook ads bundle. Like it's $7 plus $50 a month after that to stay in the community and get access to the Disruptor bot like support. $50, $50 a month. And you will have a ground up level understanding of what you should be looking at. That'll be better than like 90% of the stuff you'll find anywhere else. Because entry level here at Disruptor School is where most people never get to. And then you really start to become elite. There we go. Nicholas, you came to the right place. Appreciate it. We got Disruptor. Cool. Okay, question for the live from Jimmy. How can we effectively convert an older audience, particularly those age 55 and above? Do you believe this group tends to be more skeptical about making purchases online? Number one way, Jimmy, make ads for them. If you're asking me, how can I convince a person of a certain psychographic population to make a purchase? My answer is figure out a way to get them to buy. Which is not necessarily the best answer, but it's an ad problem. And I don't think these folks are more skeptical about making purchases online. In fact, they have more disposable income. Fun fact, again, not trying to get political, but just for whatever it's worth. There is a thing called the Conservative Talk Radio Network. Right-wing conservative talk radio in the United States, owned by what was at one point in time the GOP, which has now been, there's been a hostile takeover of the party, and that's a whole other thing. Again, not trying to get political here, just stating some like business facts. That business of the Conservative Talk Radio, one of the reasons it exists is because they know their core consumers over the age of 55, and those people are actually less skeptical and more apt to spend on anything you tell them. When you run ads on radio, and I know this because I used to be a Conservative Talk Radio host, and I also had other things going on. Most people, by the way, in Conservative Talk Radio and television are by no means conservative themselves. It's just the highest paying job in media because you can charge the most for the ads because the audience is the least skeptical and most susceptible to advertising. And again, not trying to get political, just talking about facts. They're not more skeptical. They're more susceptible to marketing. All right, Anonymous, thoughts on Nick Terrio's ideas? I like Nick Terrio. We're homies. He's been following me for a long time, and I love to see his methods change over time. I've sat down with the guy. We've had a chat before. Great dude. I think he's finding his own way, and I appreciate that he listens to me and other people, and he's making his own decisions, and he's making some stuff work. Politely put, I think he's figuring out a lot of good stuff. It's great to see him grow. And I can tell that he's been watching my stuff because over the years, his message has changed. And also because he's told me. But what I teach, he'll take some of it in, he'll try it, and then regurgitate it in his own way. So I would say he's probably one of my biggest advocates. And as somebody who I know has been watching me for a long time, also Dara Denny is another person in that field, like Ben Heath, I appreciate that their message has changed because they've heard me, they've tried things, and then over the weeks, months, years of time, they come back with their version of what I told them here, right? So I tell them something, they internalize it, work through it, all sorts of stuff, and then tell you here. And you can listen to them here, or you can listen to me over here and save, get it from the horse's mouth if you want it. Okay, do you plan creative briefs for brands? No, I don't. I am absolutely terrible at creative. Have you ever seen my ads? It's literally me just yelling at the screen using CapCut. I'm terrible at it. Go talk to Sarah Levinger, Dara Denny, Barry Hott, and I think it's Josh at Fireteam. They are, and they're exceptional. And if you want people to do stuff, check out Creative OS. Check out my man, Fraser Coachell. Elite. He's actually got a masterclass on creative coming out as well. We have, I think Sarah Levinger is having a product drop this week. Fraser's is coming out, I think, next week. We got a lot more stuff coming. Matt says, is this live? You betcha. All right. Can I comment? Disruptor, but only a 30-minute call? No, sorry. Okay. Let's see. I scheduled a call, and the guy I spoke to wasn't very receptive once I told him I was doing $30K a month. How long ago was it? Was it Sam? If it was Sam, I doubt it. If it was Bruno, well, Sam's taking calls now. Put it that way. Anonymous, I don't know who you are. But also, if you just want to jump in, just go to disruptorschool.com and click the button for Facebook Ads MBA program. You can schedule a call through doing all this. But if you're just ready, if you don't want to mess around with like, do I want the premium? Do I not want the premium? If you're ready, you can go to disruptorschool.com and just do that. Let's get rid of all this other stuff, because if you join the MBA program, you get all of these other things for free. Boom, you can check out. And you can pay in monthly installments if you want to. Right? Like, you could put this onto a payment plan. And I think this gets as cheap as like $1,000 a month, or like $800 a month. So, it's up to you, man or lady. But if they said that, you tell them, hey, I was on a thing with Charley. He said it's still good to go. And if it was Sam, I'll tell him $1,000 a day. That's good enough to jump into the MBA. If you want to invest in yourself, we will make it $2,000 a day. Let's make it happen. Matt Silva, question for the live. By the way, 7 minutes. We're doing the spin to win. So if you want to get in, on the spin to win, man, I really got to be paying more attention to the Instagram chat. I apologize, Instagram. If you want to get in on the spin to win, comment Disruptor in the chat, and we'll get thrown in. That's a $100 giveaway plus a free Disruptor School hat from me, sent to you anywhere in the world through my print-on-demand site. I will pay the below market price to make sure that you get it. Matt Silva, question for the live. I'm in local service lead gen. If a client wants to promote 3 different services, should I create a campaign per service, or is an ad set per service sufficient? Matt, this is a great question. I'm going to push back on the premise of the question and ask you, yes, they're promoting 3 services. Which one is best for them? One of them makes more money than the others do. One of them is more profitable than the others. One of them leads to, monthly payment plans and future cash flow. One of them might be a one-stop shop. My point to that is you'll see a lot of folks, and Andrew Ferris and Taylor Holiday are both in these camps, and there's a lot of other folks that decentralize that account nonsense, where they're going to promote all the things that make a contribution margin that's positive and fine. Promote everything that makes money. I'm going to spend my time and money promoting the thing that makes me the most money. If something can triple my money and something gives me a 5% return, every time I invest in a 5% return, I'm losing so much. And also the machine is super dumb because I'm not training it to do one thing well. I'm teaching it that all purchases are created equal. All clients are created equal. The point is, I would have one campaign per service and then ultimately phase out two of them. They're probably not spending enough money on the best thing for them that they need to promote a second one. There's a straight dope. No one will tell you. All right. We're running out of time. Got all the questions gotten through on the live finally. Yo, Leighton, how you doing? All right. Let's get to the end of the year. Okay. Q4 and Q5, September and October. Start to hit Black Friday. And 50% of the revenue is actually from late September. And the brands who focused on building bundles on higher quality customers in the summer count flourish. I should really have proofread this before showing. Customers in the summer flourish. I don't know where count came from. Oh, well, whatever. We are multi-lives in deep. All right. I'm a human being. I felt like I got to spin this up in the downtime. And hey, look, there we go. By the way, Songwriter Sandbox, generating 100K a month is Inner Circle or FBA, the Facebook ads MBA, the way to go. Honestly, if that's profit, I'd probably go the MBA. Master the MBA stuff because all of it's lifetime access. Get through that core curriculum so that Facebook is covered. And then jump into Disruptor School so that we can get good at everything else. But be like a 1% level marketer when it comes to Facebook ads. And then you can come around. He said, not profit. Homie, the premium version of the Facebook Ads MBA program is $12,000. And you can check out the standard for $6,500 and upgrade anytime. I'll tell you this. The average person takes about 10 to 15 weeks to get through all the curriculum. Some folks move faster. Some folks move slower. And you can put it on a payment plan. Like, you don't have to pay it all right now. I can put it on a credit card and pay it off over the next couple of months. Or you can book a sale. You can book a call with Sam and like, hey, dude, I can do $4K and then I'll do 3 and 2 installments over the next 2 months. Fantastic. Or $4K and then 4 and 4. I don't know what I was thinking. 10. Oh, well, whatever. We'll do that deal. And then it's $1,000 a month. Right, $4,000 a month, that's $1,000 a week, give or take. $1,000 a week is roughly $150 a day. Do you think you could cut spend by 75 a day and then only have to pay half of that price out of your pocket? And by the time you get to week 5, week 6, week 7, you're going to be scaling up anyway because of everything you learned and because of the time of the year. So you will have already gotten so far ahead and then just been scaling your ad account anyway, so that profit will pay for the rest. People do that every year. And that's what I would do, Songwriter Sandbox. And please feel free to DM me on any social if you have any other questions. And if you're ready to go, be like, man, I don't want a sales call, 4K over 3 months, I'll do that. Just DM me, man. I'll send you an invoice. We'll get you on a payment plan. You don't need to take a sales call. If you're ready to go, man, like, let's get you in. You could be in there tomorrow. You could be in there tonight. Maybe not today. But yeah, you tell me you want it to go. We'll get you in within the next 24 hours. Like if you're ready to go, I'll get you in tonight. All right. In between sessions, I'll if you're good, I got you. Now in September, October, the brands who struggle are the ones who acquire cheap customers rather than the high value ones. If you're still focused on discounting, rather, let me change your frame of reference. A lot of folks say, hey, Black Friday is where you get discounts. And it's true. Black Friday is where you can buy the best customers for the lowest price. It's not where you sell the best things at a discount. And when you start looking at in a business sense as I'm buying customers, you're going to start making a lot more money. And then we get into November and December. And like, look, this is obviously a high intent buying season. Do not focus on low value customers. It's discounting season, but we can acquire customers with a deal that isn't a discount. Bundle, create value, and high AOV customers. And this is the cheapest season to buy the highest value customers. You're a business. You're not selling products. You're buying customers. That's what ads are. You're buying cash flow. And that's the difference between me and performance agencies who have no objective to scale your business. They're there to spend your money. And like, hopefully your business does well. But it's like, according to their own words, they're not responsible for the success and failure of your business, even though you're quite literally paying them to do that. Then we get to Q5. This is basically just another Black Friday, Cyber Monday. It's the last week of December through early January. We talked about this at the very beginning. This is the highest discretionary spending period of the year for items the consumer buys for themselves. People spend more money on themselves in this few weeks than in any other time of the year. So, there we go. I will make this available for folks. I really should. Oh, aspirational buying peaks and CPMs plummet. That's true. There we go. Anyway, that's me. You can tell, right? That's me. Also wearing Dandy Del Mar today and in that picture. Love Dandy. Thank you. I hope you found this helpful in planning your efforts. So we're going to move this microphone so I can type. And I think I'm getting a headache. Oh, well. Hydration. Hydration is essential. So please hydrate. All right. There you go. All right. Let's set up the spin to win for today. Everybody that commented Disruptor is entered to win, as long as you haven't already won it. If you already entered and haven't won, totally viable. But I don't think any previous winners jumped in on this one. All right, song. Here we go. So I hope you all have enjoyed this, by the way. We're trying to do this all for a good cause. And I really appreciate you all being here. And, I'm trying to take my time to make the least I can do as somebody that has to help get to those who want and are willing to do the work. And hopefully all of the work that we do here allows those in need to get some help. And that's really what this is all about. I think, unfortunately, a lot of folks flex on how big their bank account is or how nice their car is. And to be fair, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about your car. I drive a $35,000 Kia, but I also own a house in LA and a place in Manhattan. Flex on your car all you want. I got real estate. And I measure the success and failure of what I'm doing by how many of you get confidence and success and are able to create jobs for people in your community. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And we know some of y'all should have sold your business a while ago and you done fucked up. So anyway, spin to win. Ooh. Ooh. Hey, Mike Armstrong. Awesome. I'm already talking to Mike next week, I think, buddy. Super excited. I also talked to my business partner today about you, and we were just we had a chat over before when I was making dinner, and my wife was taking care of Charley, and yeah, dude, we're stoked to chat with you. And we were talking about things. I was like, man, let's make it so that everybody walks away from this conversation very happy. And so I'm stoked. And if anybody else wants to know more about the Brand Accelerator program, don't have a lot of spots. And I think Mike, if we can do anything in the world, Mike will take one of those that's available. But people graduate from the program all the time. And I'd love to help as many as we can. Talking to somebody tomorrow, talking to somebody next week. And Mike, don't worry if that person tomorrow, regardless if they jump in or not, we got room for you, buddy. All right, we got room for you, Mike. Don't you worry. Where's your name, UDIP? I don't know, UDIP. I didn't see you comment Disruptor on the Instagram. Didn't see it. All right. So, everyone, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. We're going to take a break here in a bit, and then we'll come back with another session. Just again, this is Disruptor School. Disruptor School is all about selling. I want you to get direct access to the people that actually do the work. What do the people who actually do the work? What do they actually do? And I want you to learn from the best experts, right? Not pay a lot of money to go to a conference to hear some sales pitch on stage from somebody that hasn't done the work in 5 years. You know who you are. And, you know, you don't have to take my word for it. Like Ron from Obvi allowed me to put this on the site. Ron says, Charley is one of the most experienced and passionate digital marketers I've ever met. Our team has been engaging with him for years, and he knows what he's talking about. Now, I don't know where the inflections are, but I'm going to take a little bit of creative license. All right. Jonathan Snow from Avenue Z, founder of the Snow Agency, 4 exits. One of the best in the game has put together a dream team with new stuff dropping all the time. And no one else is doing this. It's true. No one else is doing this. And the immediate ROI is priceless. Disruptor School is the truth. I appreciate that. You know, that John let me put those words under his picture on my site. And it's not a lie. Like I've had people that the $7 began to win that literally the next day. I was having a call with my man. I had a chat with my buddy earlier. He's like, I went through Chase Chappelle's thing and I knew he was scamming me. He just wanted my money. And I've talked to all these people and I know they don't care. I was not having 2 chances left. I was giving it one more shot. And I tried your 322. And instead of giving up, I ordered more inventory. Instead of having to sell my machines and go back to being a trainer, I started spending more money on Facebook. And I got more confidence and more understanding what I'm doing. And I actually met that guy once. Not John, although I have met John. We've hung out. We've had cigars, we've gotten steaks, we've had some good times. And this is my man. I'll leave his business to him. I don't think he'd mind me saying Cherry Hill Shop, by the way. Great business. Check it out. Local LA apparel made by dude. Like over there. Solid guy. Met him in person, and like the funniest thing happened. We went out to get pizza on my street. We sit down, and as we sit down, crack open a Topo Chico, waiting on a slice. His phone goes bring. It was Shopify. He's like, "Bro, that's you. That's you. That's you. This. That's you." And I was just like, "That's what I'm talking about, man. I want you to feel that way." And we get Mr. Chase Mosaney. By the way, Jonathan Snow, killer fantasy football player. I'm in a league with these three gentlemen. Jonathan Snow has beaten us all 2 years in a row. Dynasty fantasy football. Chase Mosaney, the GOAT, strikes again. Charley has always been a disruptive, unstoppable force. And Disruptor School is putting the easy button in everyone's hands. Incredible. And I appreciate it, Chase. So, everybody, keep them coming in. Keep up the good stuff. Whether you're here to support me or to support everyone else, I really appreciate it. And if you have more questions or yours slip through somehow, come in the next session. We'll be live in just a bit. Stick around and help out others. And until next time, I'll see you on the internet.